In the final weight at the 2019 Big Ten Wrestling Championships, Gable Steveson and Anthony Cassar went at it in the finals of the heavyweight division. This was a match between a guy in Gable Steveson who was undefeated at this point, and a guy a lot of people are talking about as a dude who could potentially go all 4 years undefeated. They don't really see a whole lot of guys who are coming up who could potentially give him a whole lot of trouble, or at least that was the expectation. But in the end, this isn't what happened. Anthony Cassar was able to get the win here. So I'll go through the highlights of how he did, and then I'll go through the bracket afterwards. So just starting off in the first period, there wasn't a whole lot going on, not really any great shots or any close takedown attempts. So we start off here where Gable is looking to get a quick escape. And he does just that in about 5 to 6 seconds. So Cassar is unable to hold him down. So now they're going to go to neutral. But from the rest of the period, really nothing happened from there. So we have to go to the next period for the next point. So now Cassar's on bottom, Gable's on top. And Cassar really quick escape this time in about 2 to 3 seconds. So we're not really seeing a whole lot of extended rides here from either of them, which I guess isn't all surprising. Both of those guys are pretty tough to hold down. But eventually we're going to start seeing some downs here. These guys are going to start going after it, and it's going to start with Gable Steveson. So he gets the takedown here. So now he's up 3 to 1. But again, he was having trouble riding Cassar before. Took him Cassar about 3 seconds to get away. This time, not going to take him long either. And he gets out. So now it's going to be 3 to 2 with Cassar down, or with Gable Steveson up. So at this point, Steveson just needs to make sure to take him down. If he can get another takedown to pad the lead, that's good for him. But that's not how it ended up working out. Not long after, Cassar is going to get his opportunity. Takes him over in the single, finishes grabbing both legs, then drives him out of bounds. And what's interesting here is that the last time he was only able to ride for about 5 to 6 seconds. This time he's actually going to be able to ride much longer. So he's got 19 seconds to ride out if you want to keep this going. If he lets Gable up, then Gable's going to get the 1 point. It'll be 4-4, and they're going to overtime. But that's not how it's going to end up working out. So we're going to get to that ride out right here. And at this point, I mean, looks like Gable's pretty much out. It's pretty crazy that Cassar is able to maintain control here. And there's about 3 seconds left, and he's able to hold him down for the remainder of the time, 1 to 3, and ends up winning the title, which is pretty impressive considering last year. That one Devon is where he was wrestling Gable on more pretty big. That lost the spot to Rashid. So didn't even on the Big Tens or the Nationals. It's a guy who's getting screwed out. Although I guess it's hard against to wrestle off and but that Neville's who was on last year. Cassar goes from 7, takes the spot from Nick Neville's, and is now a Big Ten champion at heavyweight. But to go through the rest of the bracket, there were a lot of exciting results here, specifically with Sam Stoll. I think he was a guy who starting off as a preseason 1, hasn't even placed the big ones. Starting at the quarterfinals, he had a match with Gavison and lost to 3. That's actually a surprisingly close match too. I would have thought the way that the 2 match Steveson would have blown out, but part of 3 was really close. But then Stoll ended up to Jacob Avon do in the match. Avon ends up placing. Stoll does not. In quarterfinals, Chase Harry lost 3 to Trent Hilger. Conan with a win over Mace Harris, and Anthony Cassar got over David Jen. And Maya Steveson won over Hilger 10-4, Cassar 10-1 over Conan, and in the first 4 to 3, Cassar over Steveson. So as far as the places go, Cassar number 1, Steveson 2, Yusuf Hamida 3, Trent Hilger 4, Jen 5, David Jensen 6, Mason Paris, and then Javen 8. And to show that result in the consolation, he was able to knock him Stoll. He won by a score of 5 to 2, so actually a deficit than what he had Gable Steve. So pretty bizarre turn Sam Stoll. A lot more was expected. I think even though he's not going to get a automatic bid, the wins that he has this year enough for him to get in, especially if you look at top half results. All these guys, Sam was able to win over. So he did get the win over Mita. He beat Conan Jennings. Then he was it was a weird finish. He was about to turn Conan, but then kind of had like a default as he was turned. So instead of a six for pin, it was just 6 points for medical forfeit. But he got the win over Conan Jennings. I believe he may have. I'm sure he lost to Hilgren. I know Jensen, but even still, you would figure those two should be for still to at least get on the tournament. But it's going to be very good, and it's a good that he struggled to make the stand if he even does this year. So he underwhelming for him. I'm sure he expected a lot himself. Had a career at Iowa at this point, but tough way to go out here.